I'm Yolande Porier from Oracle Technology Network, and I'm here today at Devox UK with Stuart Marks.
Hi.
Stuart. So, Stuart, you're working on the Lambda Expressions. So, tell us about the Lambda Expressions.
Okay.
How do they affect the JVM and the compiler?
So the Lambda project it's quite comprehensive. It affects the JVM, the compiler, the programming language, and the class libraries all at once. So there needs to be support in the JVM to handle new bytecodes that are being generated by the Lambda compiler. There's changes to the programming language specification, but even if you take all of that, I mean, it provides a certain amount of value. But what we also need is changes to the libraries, the class libraries, and the library APIs to really make the Lambda expressions useful to general programmers.
So, and when will, so all this is part of the Java SE8, right?
Yes, Java SE8.
Okay. And so you have also a presentation today. So what is your presentation about?
Okay, so I have a talk entitled Accelerated Lambda Programming, and basically it's going to focus on the class library changes and the class library APIs for Lambda. And I think one of the difficulties has been that the project is so broad that it's impossible to compress all of that knowledge into a single talk or even into 2 or 3 talks. And so in my talk I'm going to be focusing solely on the class libraries.
And tell us some of the libraries.
Well, the main new library that is being added in support of Lambda is called the streams library. And so briefly, a stream is the way I'm describing it is a multiplicity of values. And so in sort of classic Java, you have objects, and objects can be mutated. The idea is to think not about objects and mutating them, but to take a stream of values and process them into new values. And the advantage of that is that they can be processed in parallel, and Lambda expressions can be used to parameterize the operations that occur when you chain together a series of operations using the streams library.
So the Lambda expressions is a big change for Java SE, and a lot of developers are actually wondering how it's going to affect them. So can you give your opinion on what you think those changes will be?
Yeah, I think that in a sense, I think you might think that Java programmers will find all this new stuff very difficult, and I suppose some people will. On the other hand, when we talk about the Java community, it's not necessarily people who program exclusively in Java. There's this idea of the polyglot programmer who programs in several programming languages all at once. There's Java and a variety of scripting languages, JavaScript, and so forth. And compared to Java, in certain respects, these languages are more advanced. Java is one of the last major programming languages to get lambdas or closures or any construct of that form. And so in that sense, Java is catching up with other languages. And for polyglot programmers, dealing with Lambda will probably not be difficult. In fact, for these kinds of programmers, they're saying, well, they dislike programming in Java because it lacks certain features that they're used to in other languages. So I think they will pick it up very quickly.
Okay, very positive then.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you for talking to us.
Okay,
today.
good to be
Thank
here.
You.
Thanks.
Thank you. Ice
That's
crumbled.
nice. That could be a really
Okay.
nice follow-on to
Oh,
yeah.
okay.